The Russia-Ukraine war has reached a breaking point. Russian forces are closing in on Donetsk, the heart of Ukraine's eastern defenses. If Russia takes this region, it could be the end for Ukraine's resistance. The fall of Donetsk means the fall of Ukraine. Welcome to Infographic Vision. Today, we're revealing the front lines that could decide the war's fate. From Donetsk's battlegrounds to Ukraine's desperate counterattacks, this moment could change everything. By late 2024, Russia captured 700 square kilometers in November, much of it in Donetsk. In 2025, Donetsk remains the key battleground. If Russia secures this region, it could cut off Ukraine's eastern defenses, paving the way for a broader collapse. Let's reveal the front lines, starting with Donetsk, the region that could decide Ukraine's fate. In the Pokrovsk axis, Russian forces are clashing with Ukrainian troops around Pokrovsk, a critical hub for Ukraine's eastern supply lines. Russia recently captured Shevchenko village, a small but strategic gain. If Russia pushes further here, they could isolate Ukrainian forces in the east, cutting off vital reinforcements and supplies. Ukraine is digging in, using drones and artillery to slow the Russian advance, but the pressure is immense. In the Kramatorsk axis, battles are raging near Chasiv Yar, a key defensive position. Russian troops are pushing westward, aiming to encircle Kramatorsk, one of Ukraine's last major strongholds in Donetsk. If Kramatorsk falls, Russia could control the entire region, dealing a devastating blow to Ukraine's ability to fight back. Ukrainian forces are holding the line, but every day brings heavier assaults. In Toretsk axis, fighting is intense around Toretsk, a gateway to Donetsk's urban centers. Russian forces are trying to break through Ukrainian defenses here, knowing that capturing Toretsk would open the door to dominate the region. Ukraine is reinforcing its positions with heavy fortifications, but Russian artillery is relentless, testing their resolve. Beyond Donetsk, other fronts are active but less decisive. In Kharkiv, battles are ongoing around Vovchansk, with Russian forces trying to push deeper into the region. Ukrainian defenses are holding strong for now, refusing to give ground. In Luhansk, fighting is scattered across multiple axes, with Russian troops probing Ukrainian lines but making little progress. In Zaporizhzhia, Russian forces are engaging near the Kharkiv area, aiming to expand their control in the south, but Ukraine's defenses remain resilient. And Russia's Kursk region, once partially held by Ukrainian forces during a surprise offensive, has recently seen a major shift in control. Ukraine continues to carry out precision strikes on strategic targets, but Russian forces have launched a large-scale counteroffensive and managed to regain over 90% of the territory, including key towns near the border. All eyes are on Donetsk. If Russia takes full control, Ukraine's eastern front could collapse, making it nearly impossible to hold the line against a Russian advance. The fight for Donetsk isn't just about territory, it's about technology and tactics. Ukraine has leaned heavily into drone warfare, using swarms of small AI-guided drones to target Russian tanks and supply lines. These drones, often costing less than $1,000 each, have been a game-changer, allowing Ukraine to strike with precision even in heavily contested areas like Chasiv Yar. They've disrupted Russian advances, forcing them to spread their defenses thin across Donetsk. Russia, on the other hand, relies on overwhelming artillery power, firing thousands of shells daily to weaken Ukrainian positions in places like Toretsk. Their strategy is to grind down Ukraine's defenses through sheer firepower, then move in with infantry to secure key areas like Pokrovsk. But this approach has a cost. Russia's supply lines are stretched, and their troops are facing heavy casualties, slowing their momentum. The clash of tech and tactics in Donetsk shows why this region is so critical. If Ukraine's drones can keep disrupting Russian advances, they might hold the line. But if Russia's artillery breaks through, Donetsk and Ukraine's eastern front could fall. The war's outcome may hinge on which side adapts faster. If Russia takes Donetsk, the consequences for Ukraine will be catastrophic. Losing this region would cut off their eastern defenses, allowing Russia to push towards central Ukraine with little resistance. It would also give Russia control of vital industrial resources, boosting their war machine while crippling Ukraine's economy, making it nearly impossible to reclaim lost ground and potentially ending their resistance. But if Ukraine holds Donetsk, the tide could turn. Keeping this stronghold would preserve their eastern front, giving them a base to launch counterattacks and disrupt Russian supply lines. It would also buy time for international support, more weapons, more tech, to tip the scales. Holding Donetsk could signal to Russia that Ukraine won't break, possibly forcing them to the negotiating table. The fight for Donetsk isn't just a battle, it's the war's turning point. What do you think will happen to Donetsk? Will Ukraine hold the line, or will Russia break through? Share your predictions in the comments below. If this video gave you new insights, hit the like button, subscribe, and check out our video on the China-Taiwan conflict. Stay informed and see you in the comments.